Hello, and welcome to our special edition of the Keeping It 100 podcast. My name is Damon Naylor, and I'm the NAFCM Media Guru, and I'm joined by my co-host, DG Mon, the president of NAFCM. And we're going to speak with a special guest who has received some funding from AAA, ICDR, and NAFCM to support mediation focusing on issues related to the LA fires. Our special guest tonight is Marco Ortega from Orange County. Hello, Marco.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
Yes, man, we're so glad to have you and appreciate you saying yes to coming and being with us today. But as you know, previously we discussed you saying yes to participating in the LA Fire Support Grant. So, what has happened since you said yes? Share some of your personal experiences with us, some heartfelt stories about what has taken place since you said yes.
All right, thank you. Yes, absolutely. And so here in Orange County, our nonprofit Groundswell has been very busy. Our mission is bringing diverse people together to build a more equitable future. And there has been quite a bit of need for that here in Southern California. So as we know, the funding that we received here from NAFCM and AAA was to respond to the fire. And that's definitely been something that's been impacting the region, but there's been lots of other things going on here as well. And so really what we've been looking at and what we've been trying to do is balance all the different needs in the community. And so shortly after we received the call from NAFCM that, hey, we were approved for this funding, we're going to be able to offer some support to the people here in Orange County. We also started getting increased activity from Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, here as well. And so in our as we were trying to develop our response to the fire, we started having ICE in our back door, in our parking lot here at Groundswell in Santa Ana, also conducting raids and really disrupting the community. And so rather than decide is it one or the other, we talked about how do we respond to all of this? How do we get to hear what's going on with the community? And so we are a community mediation center, and that means we don't just do formal, as we say, capital M mediation. It's not just about sign a confidentiality agreement, let's bring two people together, let's write a stipulation, let's write an agreement. It's also about how do we bring community together? How do we hear what their concerns are? And how do we brainstorm all together of what needs to happen next? What do we want to see happen next? And so, as we saw all of this impact in our community, what Groundswell did was we held some listening sessions. We held some community listening sessions to hear what is happening with the community and just what are the needs that are happening. And so what we heard from folks was that there was a reluctance right now to seek out formal assistance from organizations. Trust in the legal institution, trust in these formal agencies is at an all-time low. And so there isn't a lot of trust. There isn't a lot of desire to leave the home or to risk it asking for assistance. And so our role at that point, we understood, was to really make sure that we're going out to other people. How are we getting the word out of the services that we are offering? Yes, we are offering mediation support. We're able to assist people with conflicts before it gets to the court system. You don't need to go to court. You don't need to go to the police in order to get assistance. If you're having issues, again, relating to the fire, if you were displaced and are now finding yourself in Orange County, that this is assistance that we can offer. And so for us, it has been how do we go to where people are? Again, taking these skills of community mediation and offering these listening sessions to hear what does community need and how do we get you what you need? And so we've been hard at work going out to where the community is, going out to schools to hold listening sessions, going out to, again, community centers, to other areas where people are to hear what do you need? And as we're doing this, we are looking at who are the stakeholders that need to hear the information? How do we get this message and how do we amplify really what community is saying so that the right people are hearing what their message is, so that they're able to move forward and do what they need to do to provide the support that is needed. And so right now we are doing a lot of outreach. I think for anybody that is listening to this, I do have a couple of invitations. Number one, I would invite anybody who is who is interested, Groundswell is available to help support with community dialogues. If you are, again, whether you are in government, you are in education, in any other field, Groundswell is available to help facilitate some dialogues in your area to hear what are the needs of my community, how have they been impacted by the fire or by any other issues, and how can we support? And so Groundswell is available for that. If you're an individual hearing this and you're interested in supporting, we also offer training in restorative justice in facilitating circles. And so our next training, we offer these on a regular basis. And so if you're interested in supporting with that, again, reaching out to Groundswell if you want to volunteer, if you want to see how do I make a difference in the community. And if time is not something that you have available right now, of course, we also take donations to, again, just help expand the work that we're doing here in Orange County.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for sharing your information. Going to see if my partner has any questions he wants to ask. DG, I pitch it to you.
You talked about lots of things happening in Orange County, going to schools, really getting the word out. So who's been the typical responder? Who has listened to your call that you want to help people that have been impacted by any natural disaster?
Yeah, thank you. And so really the biggest responses that we've been getting are people who are connected with other organizations. And so for us, it's been really leaning on those partnerships and developing new partnerships. And so our school partners in the schools that we've been working with in Anaheim, for example, where we're able to get invited in and say, hey, let's talk to the parents that are already actively involved in ELAC, for example, and how can we really help continue to elevate and support these individuals. Talking to our partners at the LGBTQ Center of Orange County, hey, can we hold dialogues specifically for the trans community, for example, which we know is being targeted right now? How do we hear from them? What are their needs, and let them know what resources are available? And so for us, it is all about partnerships and how do we meet people where they are rather than have expecting everybody to come to us. Of course, what people are welcome to come to us, but we also want to make sure we're going out to where others are.
Awesome, Marco. I just have a question, man. Is there any specific incident that has occurred, something positive that has happened that you could share with the audience, the viewers and listeners that you would like to share? Like I say, something heartwarming, something specific that happened with maybe a client or incident.
Yeah, I think the most heartwarming thing for me has been just the interest that we have gotten from individuals who have come together to say, how can we support here in Orange County? I think we have seen an increase in interest from people volunteering as mediators and saying, how can we help? How can we support? And what are ways that we can get connected from our own active volunteers as well, asking, are there ways that we can go help and support with dialogues that are perhaps happening within the LA area? And so for us, it's been how do we connect also with other centers that are in that area and make sure that they know that there are other resources available to them to also support. And so sharing of resources, making sure that we're getting people out there in the area as well.
Okay. Okay. And there's one final question. What do you think has been the biggest, I guess, learning experience or takeaway you have from your experience here? What is the biggest thing you're taking away from it, or you would take away from it?
Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway at this point has been really just the importance of doing with community and making sure that we show up with them and that we build that trust because ultimately everything that we do as community mediation centers is voluntary. It's voluntary for people to show up, it's voluntary for them to engage. And so it's really making sure that we are there, that we are showing up, and that we're really giving them a reason to say yes to participating, to engaging, and that we honor that because somebody showing up, making the time to be present is no small ask when there's so much going on in the world. We know that everything is so busy. And so when there are people coming together, how do we make sure that we amplify what is it that they're looking for? What are the resources that they're asking for and make sure that information gets to the correct people? And that we start to take actions, that we develop action steps and next steps for those individuals.
Are you able to give us an example of when you showed up?
Yeah, and so an example of when we showed up, as I said, following the ICE raids, one of the things that we did, knowing that we were also doing responses to the fires, was holding that listening session and asking individuals, what is it that is happening, and what is it that you're looking for? And what we heard was, we're looking for more opportunities to be able to again get that assistance without the legal system. What are community based alternatives? And so in addition to what Groundswell offered of, again, we have our mediation services here, other people within the space were able to share what they have been doing, whether that is assistance from other nonprofits that are giving food assistance. And so food assistance, other assistance with legal aid and things of that nature. And so really the sharing of resources and community members being able to share those resources with one another, not just the organization sharing them.
A wonderful job, Marco. We appreciate you once again for coming on and being with us after saying yes to participating in the grant. You guys are doing some amazing work. We hear your love and passion and just, the wonderful stories of everything you guys are doing. We just wish you nothing but the best and continued success. So thanks again for coming on our special edition of the Keeping It 100 podcast.
Thank you, folks.